Well, the Nigerian foreign exchange market has been experiencing reforms, of course, aimed at stabilizing the market. The CBN has implemented various policies to address the foreign exchange crisis, including the introduction of a single exchange rate and structured allocation of dollars to the BDCs. Meanwhile, these policies are carefully being observed and assessed by both players and experts. What is the current state at the foreign exchange market? Let's get talking. I have the right person. He's live in the studio. He's the president of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators in Nigeria. Dr. Aminu Gwadabe, thank you so much. It's good to have you in the studio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. And good afternoon, Nigerians.
Good. I think we need to start with the entire market. The last time we had you in, there was a bit should I say, drop in rates, and it was looking really very good. But at the moment, what's your overview of the market before we now get into some specifics, development by the central bank, and also your association?
Thank you very much. This is a very important question, because you made a very good remark. As at the last time we were here, we were talking of even the exchange rate to be at least 1,000 naira to the dollar.
1,000, yeah.
So unfortunately, we have lost that momentum. What we are talking as we speak now, the market is doing about 1,500 naira to a dollar. So we can see how we have lost from a best performing currency to a worst performing currency. So these are some of the states of the foreign exchange market as we speak. Speculation have not ceased. We kept on seeing money coming into the market to buy volumes like it has been taking place. Uncertainty, which push a lot of people to be still holding their dollars, their wealth into substitutions of currency is still taking place because inflation is still there, and as long as there is inflation, people will always want to hedge against the naira fluctuations.
Yes.
Also, interest rate. Now, for you to at least, the interest rate is about 26% in the market. So, lending rate is about 35%. A lot of activity, production, especially if you look at the mortgage industry.
Yeah.
The mortgage industry now is completely out of the market because they are giving loan at 35%. So in 5 years, you borrow 100 million naira, you are going to pay about 275 million naira. So who is going to get that loan? The same thing with Manufacturers Association. I'm happy the second guest is going to talk about those challenges in the manufacturing sectors. What we are seeing rightly, the manufacturers are even posting losses, while the lenders are posting credit. Profit. So how do you align between the lender and also the borrower? There is no alignment.
Yes.
You see, the lender should also make profit, agreed, but the borrower too should make profit. But what we are seeing is an inverse relationship. So this is the situation, no output, because one of the determinants of your exchange rate is what is the country's output performance.
Yes.
So in terms of output of manufacturers, is declining. A lot of companies, in fact, are even leaving the shore of Nigeria, moving to Ghana, so especially the multinational companies. Some have left. PZ, MTN, and other multinationals are also putting their house in order so as to leave the climb of Nigeria. So it's really a gloomy picture as we speak.
Indeed, your role is to make Forex available to the retail end of the market,
Right.
which is very, very important. Recently, the CBN came up with a directive of reapplication and all of that. According to them, is to check all of the issues and across markets and, this disparity that occurs between the official, I think it's even an open rate right now. Do we still have the official or the black market rate? But take us through this reapplication and how it affects your members.
You see, there is still this analysis that is not fully willing and buying seller rate.
Okay.
Because we still see huge intervention in the I&E window.
Okay.
And that presupposes that someone somewhere is the one that determining the goal and objective of that exchange rate. So there are some defining decisions that need to be really explained, whether it is full, willing, and selling buyer market. So that is some of the observations of experts, that naturally a willing and willing buyer, willing seller market should be free of CBN interventions. But for the past 1 month, we have seen a lot of the CBN intervention in the I&E window, and that's why we are seeing this stability. I mean, do I call it temporary stability? Because there is already an argument that as soon as after June 12th, the rate might go up again. But the authorities are trying as much as possible to make sure that it's stable before the June 12th. So we pray it continues. However, the determinants that we are seeing, they are still very, very weak. Is for the CBN to make policy. They are the catalytic actor in the foreign exchange market.
Yes.
Ours as operators is to cast doubt. In terms of policies, there are a lot of policies, like you have said, willing buyer, willing seller, net open position, name it. There are a lot, the unification of exchange rate. Yes, in terms of convergence, in fact, there is no defining moment to say you have closed that convergence, because the frequency of that volatility is still very, very high. And this is the disincentive, because to even the manufacturers, to even the foreign investors, that is why till now we have a lot of promises that Mr. President have put his ink from Saudi Arabia, from India, from UAE. UAE now is putting their investment in Egypt because of their strategic position. They are not even bringing that investment in Nigeria. The same thing with Saudi Arabia. Till now, the $14 billion we are expecting from India is yet to come. So that is aspect of flows, exchange flows from abroad. Our diaspora remittances is still very weak, is still externalized. The CBN, seeing that, just issue another 14 license for IMTSO. I can assure you,
is the confidence there as expected?
I can assure you that more of IMTSO that don't have the last mile. They don't have the last mile. There are more of the IMTSO that have, in fact, people now have IMTSO as in WhatsApp group. What are we talking about? Channels that ambush this IMTSO. Is it the P2P also platform that is also there to ambush the diaspora remittances that is coming officially? So that is another thing. Just now you said the increment in non-oil export is about $100 million. That is what we are celebrating, so to say, to increase our 32, our buffer from 39 point something to 32.
We are yet to get that.
Remember, our objective, our goal is a $1 trillion economy. So we cannot match a $1 trillion economy with $32.39 billion foreign reserve buffers. So we need to work on that to be in $1 trillion. Right now, even some banks are being revoked. The licenses of some banks are being revoked. And the perception outside is that confidence and all of many are going to go. So there is a total loss of confidence in the system, which is making even progress very, very, very difficult. In terms of policy, yes, the central bank just issued a new regulation of trying to upgrade the BDC subsector. Like I said, there are a lot of insinuations, a lot of criticisms that the Bureau de Change are into money laundering, into terrorism financing. Most of the time, this is the confusion, as far as I'm concerned. There is, if you want to do price policies and get exchange rate stability. If you want to handle money laundering and terrorism financing, separate the two. Don't overlap them. overlapping always bring confusion without result. So if the CBN is trying to achieve price policy, mixing it with terrorism measure is going to compound the issues and where we are going. What do I mean? One of the requirements, financial requirements in the new regulation is that the Bureau de Change should reapply with 500 million for tier 2
yes.
and 2 billion for tier 1.
Yes.
Let me give you a global perspective.
Okay.
UK, where we borrow all our kit, financial kit, to register a Bureau de Change, the capitalization is £50,000. Convert £50,000 by 2,000 naira to a pound. You are talking of 100 million naira. Yes. Ghana here, capitalization is $30,000. Convert it at 1,005. You are talking of 45 million. Take India, where there is a lot of innovations and high tech. Capitalization in India is $67,000, which is about 120, 130 million naira. So please, the question we are asking, where did CBN got their own 500 million and 2 billion naira? This is where my argument comes. You want to use the sector to mop up liquidity, or you believe the sector have people that laundered money, that you want to see it? That is one of the challenges. We see this policy as inhibitive, discriminatory, and not in tune with global standards. I've given you 3 clients, whereby, in fact, we are not even closer. They are not even closer, to the requirement. Then 2, if you look at the margin.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that. That margin of profitability, max is 1.5%.
If you look at the margin, we are talking of treasury bill now about 26, inflation about 33%.
Yes.
For you to put 500 million naira,
yes, for
instance, tier 2, the capitalization of 500 million naira with 1.5% margin,
yes,
your profit will be 12%, even less than.
Okay.
Even less than the treasury bills.
Okay.
This is excluding cost.
Operations.
Look at also corporate governance. A BDC is just like a bookshop exchange. You like copy and paste most of the corporate governance requirement of a bank and impose it on a Bureau de Change. As a Bureau de Change, you have to have minimum of 5 graduates, compliance officer, accountant, MD, ED, 305 directors, 11. In terms of corporate governance requirement, even the existing Bureau de Change is like, we don't even know where is our fate. This is some of the frequent questions, asked questions that we have. You are saying reapply. In other sectors, you say go and capitalize. So with my existing license, is it withdrawn that I'm going to reapply, or I should just beep off my capitalization and go and do stamp up with Corporate Affairs Commission? If you look at also the requirement for IT infrastructure, we are told why the capitalization is 2.5 billion, because you want us to invest in a lot of IT. So how do we invest in a lot of IT when other clients are using shared services? By the time you use shared services, I've come up with SaaS masters. By then, each BDC is paying like 50,000 naira per annum. Subscription, including the IT and everything, is reporting and office automation. But now, one will spend, as an independent licensed Bureau de Change,
yes,
you are going to spend over 100 million naira with a business that is having lower margin. 4, what they are trying to avoid, we are concerned they will not meet it in the future. Because what they are trying to avoid is to, say, standardize it, to disabuse the sector from money laundering. But we are worried that at the end of the day, it's money bags that will come and hijack the sector. Those that have accumulated on earned income, if care is not taken, because you only go into that sector with 500 million or 2 billion. No foreign investor will come and invest there with 1.5% margin.
What is the way forward? What is the way forward regards this? What is your advice, Governor? What are you thinking should be? And have you been able to get across to the CBN?
A defining decision. Exactly. Descriptive. We cannot be dancing a willow when Dolly Parton is singing out. So we need to get our act right so as to ensure that the policies we are putting in place reflect reality. 2, is confounding to hear we are even borrowing money, we are expecting inflows when we have the largest asset, unutilized asset in Africa. We should convert those assets into monies so that we will reduce borrowing. See, Obalande, the Federal Secretariat, it's rat and lizard that are living inside. That is huge investment. See Bonicam, see stadiums. I can name and name and name assets that we can monetize and get money. 3, we should bring policies that are friendly, not inhibitive. The present regulations, policies that the CBN wants us to meet are prohibitive, are ill-timed, are non-achievable. In whatever ramification, you can look into them. 4, even though it's always been like it's not feasible, amnesty. The billions of dollars that is under pillow, over the ceiling, give amnesty to the owners to bring it into the official market so that you don't need to go and be begging India, begging UAE, begging Saudi Arabia. We have hundreds of billions. So the government should look at, Brazil have done it. Many South American countries have given amnesty over time, for a period of time. There was a time they said there is an executive order. But implementation is another problem. The solution is like a rhythm. It's like a rhythm. Like I said, we cannot be dancing a willow while the patron is playing, singing out. So we need to change the conversation. Very, very important. We need to change the conversation, the impression, the outlook. I was reading one video today. It's like kind of very, very derogatory, whereby they are talking, we are celebrating, constructing a house of how many $1 million? Wastages. We need to be open, transparent, competitive, innovative, and change the conversation. Then there must be stakeholders' engagement.
Yes, very important.
Any policy that is devoid of stakeholders' engagement, it will not see the light of the day.
I must thank you so much, Dr. Aminu Gwadabe. We are also going to try and reach out. We need to speak around with the CBN and also know what's really happening with regards to this policy, their own view on this and why they've decided to go this route. Dr. Aminu Gwadabe is the president of the Association of Burudi Shunt Operators of Nigeria. Thanks for starting the week with us on Business Nigeria. It's always a pleasure having you, Alhaji. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, then let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll shift our conversation to discussing the minimum